Hi guys! So we are looking a little bit more glam than usual. There is not a baggy t-shirt in sight today, other than when I'm getting ready. That's a lie even, that's a lie. I get ready in my pyjamas because I've got tan on. So by the title of this video you will know that this is going to be a get ready with me for my graduation. This was supposed to happen back in 2020. It's 2022. It's been cancelled and rescheduled for the third time now, and yes, I just thought I would give you a little lowdown on how I get ready for like a little bit of a glamorous event. So yes, if this seems like your sort of video, then please do like, subscribe. I'm not going to say, like I normally do, that we do this sort of thing all the time, because I definitely don't get dressed like this all the time. Definitely not. I'm very much more of a hoodie from 10 years ago sort of vibe. So we are just mixing it up a bit today, but that, I do believe, is enough of me rambling. I do need to go, so we will get into the video. So it is a very special day. It is in fact my graduation, so I thought I would do a little get ready with me for such an occasion. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. Very well loved. And I've just done the one eye here. It's just something soft and nice. Didn't want anything too fancy because, you know, the dress is going to be fancy, you know. So I'm just going in with this shade here, Burnt Orange. And I'm taking that on a Morphe M441 brush. That is going in my crease. I've just prepped my lid with the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Ginger 2 because I have got some tan on. And as you can see, I'm bringing it right in to that brow bone and to my nose. So then I have this lovely, nice nose contour going on before I actually start my face. So that is just going right in that crease. And I've sort of rounded it, so I've gone right into the socket there and rounded it up, then into my crease again. And I'm making sure that it is quite pigmented, like I don't want just like a little flush of colour, no, I'm making sure that that is properly packed on. Then wiping my brush on my little makeup towel, just going in and really softening those edges. I was really debating like possibly doing my face first today, but I thought no. Because what I've done is I've just used a collagen face mask. I've had that on for about 20 minutes while I was straightening my hair. And that's just to like really get my skin nice and rejuvenated, plump, the whole lot. And then I've just gone in with my Clinique Dramatically Different as my moisturiser. Obviously I've done all my skincare this morning anyway, and then I've gone in with the Glam Glow Starter Illuminating Moisturiser, so that's why I've got like a nice little sheen going on with my skin at the moment. And I'm just building that up until I'm really happy with the shape and also the colour payoff. Taking it just slightly over the lid too. And this is one of those like really quick looks. So now I'm going to go in with this rustic shade here and the Emma Fleming and Buff and Blend O2 brush. Literally just a smidge of that rustic, really tapping it off. And all that is going right on this outer corner and slightly, and I mean ever so slightly, deepening it up on that crease. Really light pressure and just back and forth motions. And then slightly, because as you see here, I've brought it out, that darkest shade is here. So slightly bringing it out a little bit. Not massively, just a smidge. And then making sure that it is, however, gone down to that lash line. And then just going back in with that first brush and that burnt orange shade and making sure that that is all blending nicely. And yeah, with this you can just, because it is such a soft look, like not a lot of pressure, you can, so I'm only using, I've used 2 shades for this so far, so it's literally just a case of getting it exactly how you would like it, just sitting, looking, seeing where you need to maybe have a bit of a blend. So just going back and forth between the brushes, just really making sure that everything's nice and blended. And then I am going to go in with like this is sort of like a flat packing brush, but it's just got it's a little bit fluffy as well, the dog. And all I'm doing is just slightly tapping this brush into my soft matte. And all I'm going to do is slightly draw out a really thin sort of cut crease. Just like so, and just slightly blending out the edge. And again, taking a flat packing brush, I'm going in with this rose pink shade, and that is going where we've just sort of cut that crease. And it's not like a mega defined cut crease. So just taking it about halfway over onto the lid. And then as you can see, this is a little bit more defined than this one, so what I did do is just go back in with my fluffy brush and blended those edges again, just so we've got something a little bit softer looking. And then onto that lid too. And if you need some of that darker shade, just to round things off, you can too. So it's all just about making sure that all the edges are nice and soft. And just so we have it on video, look at the dog being an absolute terror. And there we have the eye look. I think though, I am going to go in with a little bit of the Peaches and Cream Luxe pigment. And this is like a pale gold sort of reflect. And I don't want a lot, because I don't want to like overpower this pink, but I really do think that just a little tiny bit of this onto that lid for a little bit of extra zhuzh right at this inner corner. Just there, like I don't know if you can see, like, because it is like a reflect sort of pigment, but yeah, that is really, really nice. And I'm literally just putting it on my brush and pressing. It's just like a fluffy brush again. And all I'm doing is pressing that onto that inner part of my eye. I'm really hoping, guys, that I get ready quick enough that I can actually show you what I'm wearing, because I think that would just really, really be great. Yeah, that is just really giving me it. But what I am going to do, in fact, is just get a little bit of setting spray just for my eyes. So and that is literally just for my eyeshadow to get a bit of that setting spray on and keep it in place. I would say, however, that when you do that, do get a spray that is not really powerful, that it like sticks to your eyeshadow or anything like that. Like I've just used my all-nighter, my Urban Decay all-nighter, just to spruce that up a bit. I do believe it's time to move on to the base. So I've told you already what I've primed with, because I just had that on while I was doing my eye makeup, just something so it could settle. I'm going to go in with my Fix Plus Magic Radiance by MAC. And that again is just to prep the skin. A lot of people use the MAC Fix Plus as a setting spray, but it is actually, I'm pretty sure anyway, I'm sure I've read somewhere, that it's actually more of like a fixer for your makeup, not a setter. It's more of like a repair, rejuvenate, that sort of thing. So that is why I have used that first, just so then I can kind of have something on my skin that is just gonna make sure that none of like my oils are coming through, things like that that can disrupt your makeup. So I've just put that on, so then we've got that little bit of security. Then for foundation, because I have got some tan on and I don't actually have a foundation like exactly for my tan colour, I'm gonna have to like do a little bit of a mixture. So I've got the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade Golden Toffee, which is like quite dark. This was when I came back from Spain. I lived there for like a year. This is when I came back from Spain and I was actually that colour. How exciting. And that I am going to pair with, that's mostly for the colour, but I am going to pair that with my Nars Natural Radiant Longwear, and this is my actual shade. But what I'm going to do is just put a couple of pumps of that on the back of my hand, which as you can see compared to my hand right now is a ridiculous colour. I'm going to put a couple of pumps of the L'Oreal, and then I am just going to start mixing that on the back of my hand. And that is the colour that that gives off, which is, if you look at my neck, like my hand always gets a little bit more tanned than the rest of me, like when I tan. So yeah, I'd probably say that's alright. We can always either go in and lighten it or go in and bronze it up a bit more, but yeah, I probably wouldn't say that's too bad compared to my neck. So that, I'm just gonna draw it on with that tiny brush that I've mixed it on the back of my hand with. And I will say, guys, that the L'Oreal True Match goes so nicely with any sort of foundation, like because it doesn't disrupt the formula of your other foundation. It has a really nice formula itself. It acts as like a really sort of high-end foundation. So if you are wanting like a sort of mixer foundation that's nice and cheap, that's a really good one to use, because it doesn't, it's like flexible enough in its formula that it doesn't disrupt the other foundation that you're mixing it with. And I am going to go in with my Doll Beauty DB3 foundation brush, which is a little bit of a smaller brush, but because I've got like eye makeup on and I need to get into this like little crevice and stuff, I do not mind using this brush for like nice occasions when I'm really like paying more attention to my makeup. Like on a day-to-day basis, I'd probably use, well, I do use, this one's wet at the moment because I've just washed them, but I'd use like my PC04, which is a hell of a lot bigger. It's a lot quicker, like to just throw your foundation on. Like that is why I normally use that on like a day-to-day basis, just because it's quicker. It doesn't take as long for me to get ready in the morning if I've got, say, a foundation brush that's bigger. And as you can see, like, my skin, that like little bit of skin prep, the face mask, letting my primers settle. That's all really helped with like how nice that foundation's gone on, how dewy I'm looking. And I'm not going to be like too precious going near like this shadow because I can always, you know, add some more, blend it once all my base is done. Now for occasions where I want my foundation, makeup, everything to stay all day, I use a higher end foundation. So Nars, Charlotte Tilbury, Anastasia, drop of my L'Oreal. And another product that I absolutely swear by, again, is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I did use this as an eye base today just because I was doing something neutral. It didn't really warrant a P. Louise sort of base. But this, for concealing spots, scarring, things like that, is absolutely amazing. All I do is just take some on a brush, and anywhere that I want covering, I will just cover, and I will leave it to sit for a bit as well. But yeah, because this is a soft matte concealer, it doesn't budge, it stays all day. But the formula of it is incredible because it stops any sort of oils coming through. It doesn't look cakey. The coverage is absolutely amazing. I would highly, highly recommend it. Big time. Now, as my sort of like highlighting concealer, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer. I haven't blended that Nars concealer in just yet. I'm just going to go in, and this is like a lighter shade that's going to give me that highlight. And that's going there, here, here, a little bit on the forehead, and then under the eyes. And because it is like a special occasion, I am going to use like cream bronzer, cream blush, as well as my powder products, just because I want it to look flawless. I just want that sort of like dimension to my face that cream products and powder products give. So first off, I'm going to go in and blend out that Nars concealer. Now that that's all blended out, I'm going to go in and blend out this lighter concealer. A sponge sort of like is good in instances where you put loads of your product on and the sponge sort of takes it off, whereas with this I can put just enough concealer on that I want, blend it out with my brush, and it doesn't really take any of that product away, and it's really, really good for just concentrating the product in that place. Like I can pat that brush right there with that concealer and it's not going to budge anywhere else. It'll only move to where I start patting, whereas with a sponge, because you're doing this, and yeah, it can be a little bit more, things can move about a little bit more. Like I said, I won't be too precious here because I can always just add some more eyeshadow. But that is how we are looking so far. Before I start cream bronzing, what I am going to do is just quickly set the places that need it. So I've got my wet beauty blender, I've got MAC Light Plus Mineralised Skin Finish, and all I'm going to do is go into there, grab some on my sponge and set that under eye. And the Light Plus is just so good for this sort of brightening effect. And then I will just go over the top of that slightly. with a bit of that powder on my brush. So then for cream contour, I'm going to go in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer in the shade Mahogany. And because this is a concealer, it's full coverage and it's slightly matte, what this is going to do is stay in place all day. So just putting it there to begin with. Grabbing my PC21 brush and just beginning to blend out. And this does really just blend out like a dream as well. And because I haven't like set down any of those cream products like my foundation, my concealer, where I'm putting this cream bronzer, everything is going to mesh together really, really nicely. Just on the chin, shorten this bad boy, jawline, and blend. The only place that I'm not going to put any cream bronzer is my nose, because I have a very, very oily nose and I don't want to add too much product onto there and let it get oilier than it should be. And then go here. And just look how lovely like that blends out. And the effect that it gives. And all I'm doing is patting, there's no swiping or anything like that. I don't want any sort of brush marks or anything, just pushing all these products into the skin. And then for cream blush, one of the old favourites, this is the P. Louise coloured base in the shade Winter Rose, taking a smidge, and I mean a smidge of that onto the back of my hand. Going in with my PC27, which is a fluffy tapered brush. Coating my brush and placing that blush on. And I did decide to go with like a pink blush today just because of the hair. I really, really like a pink blush once I've got a little bit of tan on. Like, I think it just looks really, really lovely when you're tanned and you've got a pinky blush. And the one good thing about these coloured bases is they have such a gorgeous finish to the skin and you don't have to set them necessarily. So if I want that finish all day, it will stay there. These do not budge. So for powder, I'm taking the HMB Cosmetics Soft Focus Loose Powder. First of all, I'm just going to go back in with my foundation brush. Because don't forget, none of this has been set yet. So back in with the foundation brush and just making sure that everything is where it needs to be. Then taking my sponge wedge, that HMB Cosmetics Loose Powder. So that is on for now, looking very funky, but I am going to leave that to settle. And then smoothing everything over again with that foundation brush. I'm going to go in and set the rest of my face. So that's Soft Focus Loose Powder again. Hitting the chin. Here, just in case I get a very sweaty upper lip. The nose. Because I do know how oily my nose gets throughout the day. And that is all around my nose because I get oily in these little nose crevices too. Here on the centre of my forehead. Really, it's pretty much just my T-zone that I like to make sure is gonna stay nice and matte. And then just anywhere else that I feel that needs it. Usually, and today is no exception, I have really prominent pores just here. So I don't like them showing. So can you see here it's nice and matte now, whereas here on this side, I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but they're very, very prominent and very deep. So I do just set them so then I don't have like light bouncing off them. And then I will just also powder there to get that lifted effect here. And also at the other side. So for my powder bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Doll Beauty Gimme Sun bronzer in medium. And that is just going to set that cream bronzer. And as I say, I'm just tapping. Just tapping. I'm also going to go down my nose with this. So I can see where I need to start. It's just here in this hollow and go down. Don't worry, I will clean up this nose contour. And again in that hollow and down. And I'm just pinching my brush. And then just cutting off the end of it. Quickly rectifying that. Just getting my powder, going down the centre of my nose with it. And it's back to looking bronze, but not too defined. I felt like I used to do my nose contour, like too sharp, too defined. So under my chin. And I quickly take off this powder and then go in with my powder bronzer. Question is, do I add a hint of blush or not? A hint of powder blush? Oh, I think I do. It's a special occasion. I think we do. So, because I'm a little bit more tanned, I'm going to go in with the Beauty Bay powder blusher in the shade Blossom, which has like a really lovely, it's like pink with a gold reflect. And I'm not going to go ham, I'm not going to put loads of this on. But enough to really just give that skin a kiss of shimmer, a little bit of life. Then for highlights, I'm going to go in with the Rodeo Drive highlighter. And I am just going to take this on a fan brush. This is it here. And that is going right there. Just so it catches the light. I'm not showing it everywhere, literally just on that high point of my cheek. The bristles of the brush are barely touching my cheek. I'm only getting it right there. And then just smoothing that over with that blusher brush. Finger, highlight, upper lip. There, my nose. In between the eyes. That might be a bit much, okay? That might be a bit much. I forgot how intense this highlighter was. But no, that's nice. Might even, just because I'm really feeling it today, like now that I've done this makeup, I just feel amazing. I'm going to add just a hint of that blush up there because it'll just add a little bit of pinky warmth but also a gleam to my skin. This blush is amazing. Now this is where I'm at an impasse because I really feel like the inner corner should be a pink highlight. So I am thinking the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Powder highlight in the shade Blossom Glow, which is this here. It's like a white pink. So I'm thinking brow bone and inner corner should be this. Yes. Maybe I'm going to go in a smidge with my finger to really open that eye up. Tiny, tiny bit on the brow bone. And because I don't want it dipping into that brown, just going to blend that. So I've just got that nice highlight of it. And it's not adding to the actual eyeshadow. Again. So I think right now we're looking like we should add a little bit of setting spray. So Urban Decay All Nighter. I've just filled in the tail of my eyebrow slightly, and this is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in the shade Ash Brown. I think now is about the time we move back to eyes, so I'm going to use that really big fluffy brush that I used at the beginning with that burnt orange, and I am just going to make sure that everything is nice and blown out and there's no harsh lines. For the waterline, I'm going to go in with the P. Louise paint in the shade Barbie Boo. Taking that on my Emma Fleming 03 brush, flat tiny liner brush. And that is going on the waterline. Like that. So I'm going to tightline the top lashes. Then I am just going to smoke that out with that burnt orange shade, but I am going to use the O2 brush from Emma Fleming. Just like so. And then again, buffing out all those edges. Lovely. And then all I'm going to do is finally add my mascara. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. So I'm just going to quickly do the other eye and then I will be back for lips. So for lips, I'm going to go in with the P. Louise lip liner in the shade Achievements, and the lipstick is going to be the P. Louise lipstick in Take Off. So as you can see, I have gone for like a pinkier lip today, a pinkier nude, just because I've got the pink on my eyes. But is that not very, very nice with the whole look? So I think I'm done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get changed, get ready, show you the final look. So everybody, this is the finished look, and oh my god, like I genuinely feel amazing. Oh, the eye look with the hair, there is something about this eye look with the hair that it's just, it really does something to me. So I've even got dressed for you. I have put a little bit of body oil on. This is the Elf Retro Paradise Glow Up Body Oil, and I actually got this from TK Maxx for £6, but yeah, that is what is happening, like on the shoulders, on the chest sort of situation. So this, I don't know if you can see me, so this, everybody, is the dress. It is a little bit bougie. I would not normally wear something like so nice. I normally go with a little bit more of a hog-chaw vibe. But yes, as it is the graduation and I needed to look, you know, a little bit more classic, here we are and here we have it. So big thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of this look down below, and please do wish me luck. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.